Are obsessed with this notion of good men versus bad men. And yes, while there are some just complete psychos out there, most of the time, what you get out of a man is as a direct result of the way that you interact with him. When I hear things like, oh, there's only a few good men, or it's hard to find good men, it genuinely confuses me. Because in reality, men are just people. And as people, it's very hard to just label someone as good or bad. People are very
Straight facts. She leaning into some very important points, and it's called accountability. 9 times out of 10, you gonna see it from the beginning. Whether you pay attention to it or ignore it is on you.
much in depth, complicated, based on their life, what they've been through, what has been spoken into them. And there are certain situations and people that can bring out the best in them, or there are certain situations and people that can bring out the worst in them. So, circling back to talking about this in specific relation to men, the reality is most of the time you're not dealing with a bad man. What you are dealing with is a man that when you met him, you had no boundaries. You didn't demand respect. You didn't demand him to treat you in a set way. And it was your expectation that he would come with this mindset. And if you understand that people are very selfish and very focused on self and self gratification, you will understand that that is a key error.
I don't necessarily think that it's you thinking that a person comes with this type of personality or this, that, and the other. The problem is that when a lot of people jump into a relationship, they come into the relationship trying to cater to the other person just to get where they want to be, just to get that title of a relationship or this, that, and the other. And then once they both get knee deep in a relationship, they start to turn into who they really are as a person. The woman will start not accepting things that she really wouldn't accept that she accepted early on in the relationship, vice versa. A man would do the same thing. And I always look at it as like a, a, a pipe that's full of pressure. Like if you keep adding, eventually it's gonna burst, and that's what people do. They take stuff that they normally wouldn't take, and then eventually they'll get to the point to where they lash out in a relationship because those are things that they normally would not accept in average everyday life or the life they have been living.
Like, out of every experience that you live in life, you get what you put out. That's why you have some people who went to uni and dropped out within the first year, and some people who went to uni are on like hundreds of thousands of pounds right now. And you have some people that, went into acting or singing who didn't make it, and some who did. And yes, there's other factors that go into that. But the reality is, you get out of stuff what you put in most of the time. So if you know as a woman that you want a man that is consistent, when you are talking to a man and he is not consistent, saying, oh, men do this. No, that man has done that to you because you have allowed it. The reality is, a lot of women do not want to take accountability on the fact that you can leave, but you choose not to because you want that man so badly. And we've all been there. So I'm not judging you, but let's be for real, ladies. Stop wanting Prince Charming and your expectation is not Prince Charming. And just a side note, I'm not talking.
And that's the thing, like what lust comes into a play, and this goes for men and women. A lot of times, the lust is what gives you that initial spark. That's the first thing that draws you to a person. How they look. You may think the guy is handsome, or you may think the lady is sexy, fine, or whatever. It's the lust. The problem is that once you get out of the lust phase, and weeks or months down the line, you still dealing with this person, that's when the real you or the real her or the real him starts to come out, and the lust starts to fizzle because oftentimes, like I've been saying, you learn to realize that you know what, I don't like this. Why did I start putting up with this from the get-go? And it's the trap of lust.
About money, please, guys. Like the way a lot of you women, I'm so sorry, think about money is so amateur. Like you do not need a guy to spend big money on you on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth date. Baby, if that man's got the bread and he's in love with you, who do you think he's spending the money on? Do you think he's suddenly just the money's gonna disappear now that he loves and respects you? Like, let's get there first. Like, you guys want to get these little chicken change. If you want a man with money, your mindset is not on the little chicken change. What's Hakkasan? What's Novikov? Let's get to the bag. And to get to any bag, you've got to use your brain. You've got to strategize. You can't go to a man handout and think he's just going to be happy for you. Who are you? What? Because you look good? Because you got bum? Like, come on, ladies.
And that's the thing, like, these women think that looks is all they have to bring to the table. And nowadays in modern day dating, that's why it's such a huge breakdown in between male and female. Women are getting mad and pissed off and upset once they realize that guys have put a stop to, you just look good and I'm gonna give you the world. No, you're gonna have to respect me. No, you're gonna have to act like a lady. You're gonna have to carry yourself like a lady. You're gonna have to treat me like a man. You aren't going to just talk crazy at me and expect me to just give you the world and turn over backwards and this, that, and the other. And I think that a lot of women nowadays are getting this rude awakening, that, oh, I just can't use my pretty face and fine body to manipulate these men anymore. Men are stepping up and kind of fighting back and like, look, if you want what I have to offer, you have to come and you got to come correct. And 9 times out of 10, it's the traditional woman that is ultimately winning over those type of men, the high value men, the men with substance, careers, money, even fame. It's the traditional women that are winning over those guys, because those guys now starting to realize that it's more than just a pretty face. It's gonna give me something stable with a woman. It's got to be something substance.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to do that. Anyway, let me get back to the topic. If you want a good man, have a requirement for a man to be good, and have things that you look out for that you show you he's good or he's not good for you. This is why I say, get a man to call you every day. How do you guys think that a man is going to do everything for you, want to be there for you, want to, give you the world, but he can't call you every day? If you're talking to a man, he refuses to call you every day and he doesn't want to call you every day, that man's never going to like you that much, because there are...
The thing is that let me jump on that. The problem is like I say, women like to try to micromanage shit and control the narrative. That man oftentimes will start out calling you every day, being respectful. Hey, how was your day? Making a phone call, reaching out. But what happens in like 99% of the time, the women like to play games and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna respond. I'm gonna wait an hour or two and respond later. And then after a while, if you get to doing that for 2 or 3 days, the man starts to pull away and start looking elsewhere for that same mutual respect or mutual energy that he's trying to dish out. And hence you automatically start ruining what you initially are trying to build by manipulating shit, by playing games with simple stuff like that.
Loads of women out there who are speaking to their men every day and they are chuckling and hee ha ha, falling in love. That's where the falling in love happens, by the way, guys. But because you couldn't get that man to do that for you, all of a sudden men don't do that. No, honey. That man refused to do it. And that's fine, because not every man is for you. We also, women, have to get comfortable with the idea of letting men go. If you have an expectation that I would really like a guy to call me every day and that guy doesn't call you every day, cut him off so a new guy can come. My only thing that you lot push this and don't want to let these men go is because you think you can't find anything better. That's the truth.
And that's the thing, like accountability. Women can cut off a lot of the crap and BS that go on from the men whores, because there are men whores out here, let's be honest. They can cut off a lot of that from the get-go by paying attention to simple signs as simple as that. Because if a man really wants you and he's really interested in you, he gonna show you. It's just whether or not you reciprocate that same energy and don't play games, or determine whether or not you get to hold on to the good ones that do come through. But nonetheless, like, subscribe, let me know what you all think. We're running towards 100K subs like it ain't nothing. Y'all have a blessed day.